Good evening, Desert Sands Unified School District. My name is Sean Webb, and I'm your Director of Community Engagement in the Foundation. And we've got a special edition here where we're doing a live event from La Quinta High School, where we're going to highlight their International Baccalaureate program. And we're going to ask, can IB be for me? But before we move on, as you can see, I want to say, as you can see, we've got everybody here that's going to be joining us tonight. But before we move on, I want to make sure to thank I want to thank the Desert Sands Educational Foundation for providing this platform to have this tonight, as well as I want to thank our partnership with CoachellaValley.com, where they're allowing us to present on their page. We are going live tonight on Facebook, CoachellaValley.com, La Quinta High School, and Desert Sands EF. And then we're on YouTube on La Quinta High School Media, and then Twitter on @Desert Sands EF and at Desert Weber. So we're in a couple different spots where people can join and watch tonight. But first off, like I said, thank you to the foundation for providing this platform. And with that, I'd like to read their mission statement. The Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. Their vision statement: in partnership with public and private sectors, Desert Sands Educational Foundation financially supports creative and innovative programs that enrich and enhance the educational experience in the academics, the arts, and extracurricular activities that engage all students and staff in Desert Sands Unified School District. So, wow, that was a mouthful. With all that being said, I want to go ahead and bring on Dr. Wilson here, the proud principal over at La Quinta High School, who's going to walk us through the evening. Good morning, or good afternoon, Dr. Wilson. How you doing? You're muted, sir.
I apologize about that.
No problem.
First of all, Mr. Webb, I want to thank you for always being such an advocate for Desert Sands, and particularly for always supporting us at La Quinta High School. So it's a pleasure to be on the air with you again.
Oh, this is easy. I love supporting the community I live in. So I definitely will support La Quinta all the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So for all of you who are with us tonight, you are about to be blessed with the opportunity to speak to some amazing folks, some of our teachers who are running our programs, as well as a current and past student. Ms. Van Dorn is the coordinator for the IB program, and she is one of a host of amazing and dedicated educators that actually run our IB program. I just want to let you know this: if you ever wanted to set yourself up for success, IB is the program for you. And you're going to find out about all the wonderful things that we do here at La Quinta. And many people may not know this, but we are the only IB diploma school in Desert Sands, specifically the only IB high school. We do have a feeder program, which we'll talk a little bit about tonight. And we're the first of two IB high schools in the Valley. But I will tell you this: if you ever wanted to challenge yourself to see what's possible, IB would be the most rewarding program that you can actually be a part of in high school. And that I'm a believer in, because I've seen it for the past 4 years. I've seen the students work incredibly hard and the staff to get everyone ready. And the other thing you're going to hear tonight is many people think that IB is just for the elite students, and the truth be told, IB is for everyone, which is why I'm so excited about the program. So with that, Mr. Webb, thank you for the opportunity, and I will let Ms. Van Dorn do the rest of the good work that she normally does.
Well, I'm not going to let you off yet, because we have, I like to highlight the comments when they come up. And we have one of our families that went up and said, "We love you, Dr. Wilson." So I wanted to make sure to highlight that. You know, whenever we have great comments, I like to bring those up. But I believe what's going to happen now is I see Ms. Van Dorn's got a little technical issue going on, right? Oh, she's got a thumbs up. We're going to bring her on screen now. Hello, Ms. Van Dorn. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am excellent. Thank you for joining us.
Just had a mild panic when it said your camera and mic stopped working, but we're good now. We are good.
All righty. Now, I believe we're going to also talk to Mrs. Davis and Dr. Shantz before we get started.
Yes, and thank you again, Sean, for having us. I'm really excited to do this event, just to, kind of let everybody know what IB is about and what it can offer for you. And Dr. Shantz is our administrator that's in charge of IB, so she works closely with me. And Miss Davis is our head counselor, and she's also our CAS coordinator for IB. So again, another part of the team. I lean on both of them quite a bit, as well as Dr. Wilson for supporting our program.
You know, as I did to Dr. Wilson, and I'm sorry to put you on spot here, and I know that you take IB and you love it to death. And one of our viewers right now is talking about, I just want you guys to read this comment here. I think it's fantastic. And this is the reason why we're putting this on CoachellaValley.com, because not just on Desert Sands and La Quinta High, Facebook and social media, it's good to have on CoachellaValley.com, because look at this. We want to have a student enrolled right here just from our presentation. So thought I'd show that there. Sorry to throw you off guard there.
No, that's amazing, and welcome. I think that's awesome. I know that for me, I've been teaching math, IB math for 14 years, and a lot of our collaboration is worldwide. And the people that I meet, you know, they teach overseas or they travel, and it's an impressive network of global communities. So awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe you're going to, Dr. Shantz is going to introduce herself now. Okay, here we go, Dr. Shantz.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Ashley Shantz, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at La Quinta High School, and I am fortunate that I get to work with the IB program. I've been at the high school for quite some time, almost 20 years, and so I've really seen the program grow and flourish. I've also been able to see a lot of the students that have come through and taken courses and gone off to college or gone off to their next step and came back, and we're really able to speak to what the IB curriculum and the experiences did. So I always welcome any phone calls. If you want to discuss it, I'm here. I'm available. So please reach out.
Okay, definitely. And as it happened, we had another comment come in while you were on here. Just want to make sure that everybody knows it's a great school, even though it's my rival. So I'm guessing that student either goes to, probably goes to Palm Desert. You got to love that. We're getting shout outs even from our rivals. But I'll bring on Ms. Davis here to introduce what she does in regard to the IB program. Thank you, Dr. Shantz.
Hi. So I'm the new lead counselor here at La Quinta High School, but I also have the unique experience of being the CAS coordinator for our students in the IB diploma program. And one of the things I love about our students that participate in our IB program at all levels is just getting to watch them grow over the years. But when you learn more about all the different parts to IB, but I just have to say it's great to see the experiential learning that gets put in place as the CAS coordinator, because that's really what that portion of the IB diploma program is about. So just like Dr. Shantz said, when students come back and share their experiences beyond La Quinta High School and what the IB program did for them in preparation for higher education or their next step outside of La Quinta High School, it's just great to hear all of those rewarding experiences. So, you know, we look forward to our next group of students that will be joining our IB program.
Excellent. I love it. And like you, it happened also, like everyone else. Somebody just said, great school. I want to make sure to highlight all the positivity that's coming out of this. So thank you for being here and doing this. Now I'm going to bring back on Ms. Van Dorn, who's going to walk us through the actual IB program.
All right, so I just have a quick presentation just to kind of introduce what the program is, and actually looking at some of the names in the chat. I believe I know Matthew, that might be related to Teresa. I was his math teacher a few years ago. So that's one thing about the family of IB is we got to get to know each other. So okay. If Dr. Shantz would like to.
There you go.
Thank you very much. So just a little bit about can IB be for me? Just a little bit about the program, if you want to go to the next slide. Back one. So when I think of IB, the whole goal is to imagine a worldwide community of schools, educators, and students that have a shared mission. And the only mission is to empower young people with values, knowledge, and skills to create a better and more peaceful world. That is International Baccalaureate. So the IB mission statement says it exactly. The IB aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people who help create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. So in a whole, on top of the rigorous assessment and building a whole student, the goal is to encourage students across the world to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners that understand that other people with their differences can also be right. And I really love that piece of the lifelong learner, because what's the point of learning if you can't use it lifelong? And IB isn't just about teaching them the skills to pass a test. It's about teaching students the skills to be successful in whatever their life might throw at them, or whatever endeavor they may take. And we'll even hear from a former student and a current student just about how these courses and the combination of the program really helps prepare them for whatever they have in store.
Okay, so now what we'll do is I believe we're going to have...
There's more slides.
Oh, there's more slides. I'm sorry about that. I'll get off screen here.
You're welcome to stay there. Next slide. So the IB learner profile. The idea at La Quinta High School, whether you're in an IB class or not, our big thing is to help the students embody the IB learner profile traits. And that's being a risk taker, an inquirer, balanced, thinkers, caring, open-minded, communicators, principled, and knowledgeable and reflective. Those of you that maybe have students that go to our feeder schools, other IB schools in the district, their learner profile starts in K and it goes all the way till senior year. Some of the reasons to take IB, because it can be difficult, is it offers academic breadth and depth. Colleges really value students with a meaningful experience that goes beyond the classroom. It's not just about what classes you take, it's the CAS experiences that you have, the TOK, the essay writing. IB really creates independent learners, and one of the key things is that strong writers. And some of our former students can attest, and every year when I talk to those recent graduates, they don't realize how prepared they are for college until they have to write their first essay or study for their first midterm. And they say, wow, I just wrote it, and it was because of all the writing that they had to do in high school. IB students do have proven time management skills. It encourages critical thinking. It also cultivates an international mindset. The purpose of the IB examination, it's not just about exam techniques, and our subjects aren't taught in isolation. They actually weave very well together. And as you can see on the next slide, it's part of the core is for each student to actually take one core course in each area to offer balanced education. It's not just only a focus. You have to balance across your English, your world language, your social studies, sciences, math, and then we really have a great arts program as well that includes theater, visual arts, includes ceramics, art, and photo. So we have quite the offering of courses. There is a difference between a lot of students who are like, how can I get engaged in the IB program? There's two different ways that you can be involved as an IB student at La Quinta High School. You can earn a full IB diploma, which means you take those 6 content courses and you test in them. And on top of those, you take a theory of knowledge course, you do an independent extended essay, and you also do the CAS experience, which is creativity, activity, and service. The other way to be involved with the IB is to be a course certificate candidate. Students can just take any IB courses that they want. We call it a la carte, where you can find your strength and say, you know what, I have a passion for biology. Biology HL is going to be my goal. And in 9th grade, that can get written into your 4-year program so that you know which courses you want to challenge yourself and which ones you're going to be involved in with IB. The diploma requirements, you have to take 3 HL and 3 SL courses or 4 HL and 2 SL courses. HL stands for higher level, and those are typically a 2-year course that starts in your 11th grade and you finish your senior year. SL, mostly 1-year courses, although our biology is just transitioning to be a 2-year SL course. CAS is our creativity, activity, service. TOK is theory of knowledge, and the extended essay. So there's 3 core components that are taken on top of your 6 courses that you take. This right here is an example of a 4-year plan that you would make with your counselor when you do your freshman meeting. And you can see indicated on the right-hand side that the IB column says which grade are you going to be testing in and which level will you test. That way, when you make your plan in the next couple weeks for those incoming 9th graders, you'll know which subject areas you will test in, and what year you will end up testing to ensure that by the time you graduate from La Quinta High School, you also graduate with your IB diploma of that 3 HL and 3 SL is our goal. Again, the core requirements, and once you're in the program, I mean, I think it's end of 10th grade year, beginning of 11th, we really go in a little more depth because these 3 core requirements, you don't begin working on them until your beginning of your 11th grade year. Theory of Knowledge is a Monday evening course, and it is an amazing, amazing course. And I just got trained in to teach it. It's all about the nature of knowledge and knowing and what we claim to know. So it's a very in-depth, really challenges your thinking and learning as a student and even as an adult. Creativity Activity Service, that's Miss Davis is our coordinator, and it's an experience and projects that you document. And it's really a personal journey that you document on self-reflection and growth. And that's one of those components that I think really, really lends itself to help students become lifelong learners and reflect on their everyday activities and how they can improve.
Can I ask real quick? You're talking about TOK and you're talking about CAS, and these are they create these documents and they're these projects that are definitely college-like, if not career-like. Maybe if you could share maybe an example of one of the projects you saw over your many years in IB that just stands out that's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that the student did this.
Well, actually right now, and even Miss Davis might be able to speak more on this, one of our current students, her CAS project has turned into this, if you can bring Miss Davis out, she can explain even better.
Miss Davis, unmute your mic, definitely. Yeah.
She even, I think, has a video that she created that's going to go into a film festival.
Okay.
Right. So one of our current seniors is very passionate about the water quality in the various parts of the Coachella Valley.
Okay.
And so something that was really a passion project for her because of some of the things she was doing in her IB biology class, she took it to a personal level. And in her own community, she was just like, the water quality here isn't as great on the east side of the valley as it is in some of the resort areas in the valley. So with this research she was doing for her biology class, she documented some things. She found some other students, because one of the things about your CAS project is that you work collaboratively with others. Right. And she found other students who felt the same way about, let's kind of take a deeper look at what's going on with the water quality. And they made a video that they posted on YouTube. And through this video that she posted on YouTube, when she was presenting it to the exit presentations that we have at the end of the year, because CAS lasts 18 months long. It's throughout your junior year and most of your senior year. When she was presenting her results and her project, Dr. Shantz actually was inspired to connect her with the California Water Board and her connections there. Wow. They watched her YouTube video and they offered her an internship. And this internship isn't just about her sharing what she knows, but now she's being part of some change and things related to our state. And when it comes down to it, she's even being asked, like, what would you like to see happen? How can we support your further research? So it is a beautiful thing that's happened for our student, Daniela, and we're super proud of her. But, that's the great part about IB is you're taking all of these different parts of what you're doing for your grade, for your IB diploma. And lo and behold, here it is, not just giving her this great opportunity to help build her resume and connecting her with other people that have the same vision she does, but hopefully we'll all benefit from that when it comes to the quality of the water here in the desert. So, it's awesome when students really take that opportunity to run with their ideas. It's magical.
So I think you guys just answered it right there. To answer that question, can IB be for me? Well, if that's something you want to do, that's what you need to do. Geez, that's amazing that this student was able to do this. And the student's a teenager. They're 17 or 18 years old, and they're able to do something like that. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry, I had to bring up, because I know that these guys have been doing amazing projects, and I was tied to La Quinta for 5 years, and I just know they were doing fantastic things then, and just wow. Thank you for sharing that. I won't steal the show anymore. Go ahead.
No, thank you, Sean, for stopping me, because I do think, and thank you, Ms. Davis, for coming out. The CAS experience for them, it's like a passion project. You pick what you put your energy towards, you reflect on it. How can you make the world a better place? And so that's like what I said. That's one of the areas of this program that I value because of that lifelong learning aspect and really the deep reflection into what am I interested in and what do I prefer to study. And then the last component is similar. It's the extended essay, and it's a 4,000-word independent research paper, and you work closely with an extended essay supervisor. So there's a number of amazing educators on our campus, and they volunteer their time and energy to supervise students through an independent research paper. And they get to choose the topic that they study. And again, this is over a year and a half that they are working on this. And the growth and the discovery that happens in doing your own research, deciding what you want to study, because that's not something that you often get to do. Like, what would you want to study? What do you want to research? What do you want to go in depth? So that's our extended essay.
So this is almost like, so when I did my first master's program at D'Youville College, I had to take a theory class, and then I had to wrap it up into my thesis. So that's exactly what you guys are doing, but at a high school level.
Yes.
And when they do it, and I know I don't want to share anything that you guys are going to share, but it's just amazing that you guys are doing all this college level work, and I'll say flat out career level work in high school.
Yes, and it is challenging, which leads to our next misconception. It is a very challenging because it is college level writing, college level research, and even I'll just add a piece. In each of our core classes, each of our IB courses, there's a thing called an internal assessment that is usually a research and writing driven independent project that students have to do on their own. So as a math teacher, we are doing math research projects, and they get to decide what they want to study, how they analyze it, and what they learn from it. And that's not all courses lend themselves to those kind of tasks that are part of the exam. They get sent to IB, they're part of their grade. But one of our misconceptions is that it's too challenging, or it's too time consuming, or it's too stressful, because this is college level work. Like you said, this is career level work. But the thing is, that's false. It is challenging, yes, very challenging curriculum, but it's not impossible. And the thing about learning it now when you're young is it teaches you time management. It teaches students persistence, determination. We call it grit, that positive mindset that, it is going to be challenging, but you can overcome that. And you have teachers that are right there to support you along the way in this college level work. One of our favorite quotes is from a student who graduated last year, Natalie Wright, and she said, and I love this, she was like, I'm not an IB because I'm a good student. I'm a good student because I'm in IB. And, and she even said, she's like, I struggled with some of these classes. It taught me time management, persistence, don't give up. The second most common misconception is that IB courses do not give you college credit. That again is false. It depends on the course, it depends on the college. And now more and more colleges each year are, IB is becoming more and more widely accepted. I'm actually starting a document where I just have the common schools that kids want to go to, what AP offers them and what IB offers them in conjunction, because you can see my last bullet point. At La Quinta High School, AP and IB, we are not competing programs. Actually, Ms. Davis is our AP coordinator. We do things, we work together, because our students, a lot of them have the opportunity to take both AP and IB courses throughout their high school career here. So taking both AP and IB really sets them up for success in college. And then the big one is all UCs offer 30 units for 30 on a diploma. And I was just on the phone with an admittance counselor asking about which courses accepted which credits and which got waived. And she actually enlightened me and said, it's not just a blanket 30 units for a score of 30 on the diploma. Right. It actually can go higher than that, where it used to only be 30, but she said, now you get 6 units for just completing that core work, that CAS, TOK, and extended essay. And then you can get up to 8 units for each HL exam passed with a 5 or higher. So if you're taking, 4 HL exams, they don't limit you to that 30, it can go beyond. And yes, it does vary school to school. Some SL courses maybe get you into a different entry level course. But a lot of the full diploma students enter as sophomores with their units between AP and IB. And we'll hear from a student actually here in a little bit about how that helped them in the future.
Okay. I'll bring your slides back up here.
Yeah, so, and then that's it. This communication, if you want more information, I'll say this again at the end, we can pull it up at the end. Just emailing and going to our webpage. I'm updating that as frequently as I can. I just want to make sure that I'm available to answer any questions that you have, but we can bring that up at the end as well.
Okay, excellent. No, I'm looking forward to, we've got some students that you're going to speak to. Yeah. And one of the first people we're going to speak to, I believe they're taking full advantage of the IB diploma when they share, backstage that they're going to be done in college in 3 years. So why don't we go ahead and bring on Neve? How you doing, Neve?
Hi, I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. So I hear you got some stories about, what is it? You're going to address some of the common misconceptions and talk about some of the benefits of IB.
Yeah, sure. So I guess the biggest misconception that everyone goes to is that it's just way too difficult to do, which I get. I was full IB, so it does get stressful occasionally,
Wait,
but
hold up. I should have just started. Can you introduce yourself first before?
yes, sorry.
You
No, it's
introduce
fine.
yourself backstage, but let's do it with all the
Yeah.
community here. Sorry.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Neve. I graduated La Quinta High School full IB in 2019. I'm currently attending UC Davis, and as mentioned, I will be graduating next year because I entered as a sophomore. So instead of the projected 4 years, I am able to graduate in 3.
And I have to apologize. I had freshmen down there because I did these beforehand, and you're actually a sophomore. So I just think that's amazing that you graduated last year. You're already a sophomore. Fantastic.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, common misconceptions as too stressful, too difficult. It can be stressful. It can be difficult, but it's all school is like that, really. You'll reach a point where it's just there's too many tests at one time or too many internal assessments at one time. And you will have moments where you're kind of like, why am I doing this again? But the cool thing about IB that I found was no matter how hard it felt at times, I always had like 5 other people around me. I just say one thing about, man, this is so difficult right now, and I'd have 5 other people going, I know, right? Like that internal assessment, we're going in history right now, right? You have support, and it's even just something as small as like all of you just getting together and saying, life sucks right now. We're not going to let it get us down, though. We're better than this. We're going to kick its butt just because that's what we do as IB students.
That's the grit right there coming out.
Eventually you reach a point really in IB, I found, was you will find a point where you're like, I should quit. And then out of pure spite, you're going to go, nah, that's what IB wants me to do. And once you get past that hurdle, it's, I won't say it becomes easier, but you go on more of a sort of glide rather than trying to drag yourself uphill.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nick, can you speak upon some of the college critics? I think that you were one of those that when we had the college forum, you came back and were just like, this is what IB got me. So if you can tell everybody at home, when you graduated and you went off to UC Davis, how did IB help you prepare for college?
Yeah, so when I applied for my schools, of course, they got the information on my IB courses, the tests I'd already taken, and they let me know through emails what credit I should theoretically be getting from it. The nice thing I found is, especially the UCs, they'll have a little handy dandy chart. It's like, if you took this specific HL course and got these scores, you're going to get so-and-so units, or this will cover your specific GE class or this specific class that you need to take before you take a higher level class. They have so many ways to show how IB can help. So what I found, I went in and I immediately talked to an advisor because I didn't actually know how my IB units were being used. I just knew that I could use them. Yeah, I just knew they were there. I didn't know how they were going to be used. So I found out that technically on my academic record, I was a sophomore, even though I could, if I wanted to, take the full 4 years and just go at a nice slow pace. That no one would have judged me for that. But my academic advisor was able to show me, the scores you got on these tests, here's the amount of units you've got, which is why you're a sophomore. But also here's the classes that you should have taken that you now don't have to. For example, I didn't have to take an entry-level English class to fulfill my writing requirement because IB English already did that for me. And yeah, it's nice. IB Math, unfortunately due to being SL, wasn't able to give me as much, but it was able to push me past having to take an introductory calculus class into just the actual calculus class I had to take. Instead of a full course of 4 classes of calculus, I was able to be IB Math. And they were like, oh, here, take 2. You only need 2.
Okay.
It was very nice. And seeing the number of classes, I wish I could pull it up on my screen, but the amount of time it would take would probably not be worth it. But there's so many classes. As long as you get like a 5 on the IB exam, they're like, here's like 6 different courses you no longer have to take that you would have had to take.
So it's almost like they take your transcript, right? They match it up with what you're going to need to take for your diploma program in college. And they just kind of, it sounds like they're just crossing off classes you don't have to take because
Yeah,
you're
and
full IB.
yeah, and what's nice is they do that even for ones that you can't get credit for. So I had a couple of, like, IB Art didn't really give me units for anything, but they were able to say, you know, we can just cross this part off of your GE list, though. Like, it's not
Okay.
units, but that's like 3 units less technically
Right.
of classes you're going to have to take.
And if anything, it'll give you an opportunity to maybe explore that subject a little bit more and go more in depth, or pick out something completely different. So it just provides more opportunity for you. I love it.
And Neve, before we bring out Zoe, can you just speak upon too, like the level of the rigor of the courses that you took in high school? How did that compare when you transitioned to a college setting in terms of time management, writing skills, those kind of skills that you don't think that you're learning when you're in high school, but you actually are?
Yeah, so I think what I saw immediately, I guess, as impactful in college was time management skills. You don't even realize how well they're developing as you take the high school classes. Like, I kept an agenda, of course. I would write down assignments and stuff when things were due. I would plan months in advance when tests were going to be and such. And I didn't realize until the first night I was sitting down in my dorm at Davis and I started writing out every single class I was going to be in and combing through the syllabus to look for every due date, going through the academic calendar to look for every socialization event that I might find useful, times to see what internships are available. And then, like, next thing I know, it's the next day and I'm looking at my desk and I have this notebook full of all of these different colored pens telling me exactly what I should do at every moment of the day. And that was so useful. It was something I'd never done before, but it was automatic to sit down and do that the second I entered college campus. I had started it by listing out my tests and stuff for IB, and then I finished it by knowing, here's when I'm going to study, here's when I'm going to hang out with my roommates, here's when I'm going to try and see what feeding the ducks at the ponds means exactly in Davis lingo. Like, here's when I'm going to go pet the cows for no apparent reason. Here's when I'm going to sit down and actually do my homework. And it was so helpful for passing my first quarter with minimum stress.
And you basically backwards mapped your whole year, your whole semester, your credit. Oh, that's fantastic. You're able to do that.
It wasn't just academics too. Like, IB helped me figure out how to plan around any type of social life. I will be the first to admit I didn't have one much in IB. That was just because that was who I was. I didn't hang out a lot, but Cass taught me how to figure out my volunteering, which was something I really enjoyed doing around my academics, and then finding time to be creative. All aspects of IB really just helped me balance my life in the way I needed it to be, the way that worked best for me. And that looks different for everyone.
And I love how it's opened you up even too, because it seems like if you were the student that you're talking about in high school, I don't see that student presenting the way you're presenting right now. Does that make sense the way I'm saying that?
Yeah, Neve of the past would have come up with some excuse to Miss Van Dorn as to why I could not do this, because my face on a live stream, no.
So there we go. Once again, can I be for me? If you want to be like me, there we go. You know, it kind of opens you up as well as gets you involved in all these different opportunities. Excellent. Now, I understand we got another student, Miss Van Dorn?
Yes, we do. This is a current senior right now. So she's just at the end of her IB experience.
Okay. Well, Neve, thank you very much. We're going to bring on Zoe now, and I'll leave you backstage just in case we have some other questions.
Thank you, Neve.
Okay. Zoe, welcome. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted. It happens. Everybody does that nowadays, right? It's at the bottom left of the screen.
Okay, I got it. Hello.
There we go. Welcome. Can you introduce yourself and how you're associated with IB and so forth?
Yeah, of course. I'm Zoe. I'm a current senior. I'm graduating next month. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm a full IB diploma student. And I remember going in when, like, before Miss Van Dorn was here and planning out my whole 4 years in one meeting, and I was like, wow, this is insane. How am I going to do this? And, like Neve said, we all have those points where we feel like, oh, I just can't do this. Like, I was that junior in November thinking, like, I can't handle the extended essay, CAS, TOK all at once on top of everything. But IB really does teach you how to persevere and just, push through it, because it's really, really beneficial and it's a really rewarding program. And I'm glad that I stayed in it, because it becomes like a family to you, because the times where you are struggling in classes, or you just need that little extra push, or just someone to go to about, a test that you thought was hard, or you just need help on an internal assessment, everyone in the program is going through the exact same thing, and they're all there for you. Like, the current seniors in the program, I know I could go and text any one of them and get help. There are a few that I'm really close to that, like, we will FaceTime for hours, just like talking about our essays and just like helping each other through everything. And even, aside from that, the teachers are so, so supportive. Like, with the extended essay, like, halfway through the process, the pandemic happened and my supervisor moved schools, and I hadn't even started, and it was due in 2 months, and I was freaking out. And one of the TOK teachers actually took me in, and she helped me, and she was super understanding, and everything went smoothly from there. And I got it turned in, and it turned into a paper I was really proud of. And that's something that IB also helps you with a lot, is how to do research papers, and they give you a lot of opportunity to just explore your own passions and things that you're interested in, while also making an assignment out of it. And it's really fun. It's a really cool program.
Awesome. Can you share with us maybe your project, your CAS project, or your TOK paper topic?
Oh, yeah. Well, the TOK essay, you get to choose from different prompts, quotes that you address. And for the extended essay, I actually turned out to kind of be a hybrid topic, but I wanted to focus on, like, mental health, and I ended up researching the different points of view, different regions in the world, and how they view the mind-body connection, and how the brain affects your emotions, and how it's been incorporated into modern medicine, and just all sorts of things like that. So yeah.
What? that is just wild that you're doing this as a high school senior. Fantastic. What is your college major going to be? Do you have that figured out yet?
Yeah, I'm planning on going into psychology, actually.
Go figure. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And can you share about your CAS project?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the CAS project, I actually joined a big group of students. The original creator was one of my good friends, Phoebe, and she made this awesome idea to create a website actually for incoming diploma students. And it's just a whole bunch of videos, and there's a podcast, I believe, in there. And it's just a bunch of tips and tricks coming from, the seniors ourselves, and how we got through it, and ways that you can navigate the classes and dealing with the papers and just time management and everything like that. So it's really cool.
With the way this group is going there, Mrs. Van Dorn, I could see that website being purchased by IB, right? And then one of our students is going to end up working for IB. I could see just happening right now.
It's an amazing feat that they have accomplished, and it's great to see the teamwork and the different personalities working together. They're awesome, amazing students. I had the opportunity, when they speak on their extended essays, the coordinator, they do what's called a viva voce, which is an ending, I call it a celebration, where the supervisor, myself, and the students sit down and we just discuss and go in depth of what they learned about themselves and the topic with their extended essay. And the look on your face when Zoe explained hers is that's the look on my face for the entire month of December.
Right. Okay.
What these students are able to accomplish in a year with a supervisor is like, I am blown away at the work ethic, intelligence, the eloquence, and just that, you know, the different personalities come out in what they choose to study and how it develops into this amazing ending piece of work that are actually now all published at the La Quinta High School Library.
Oh,
so if
really?
anybody would
Okay.
like to go and see some of these amazing pieces of work at our high school library, we started last year with the first annual publishing ceremony, and this year the second annual. And then that way, formers or students can go and see the work that these, I mean, they pour their heart and soul into it for a year. So it's pretty impressive.
That is awesome. Is there anything, Zoe, that you want to share or maybe even ask Mrs. Van Dorn about your whole project and your process? This is, you know, this is a time where you can actually kind of ask her something that you couldn't ask all the time.
Yeah, for sure. When it came to the CAS project, at least, at first, you know, I knew that it was something that I was really excited to jump on, but I had no idea what to do because, you know, COVID was happening and we were all stuck at home, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? But Phoebe actually reached out to me when it was just in the works, just an idea, and she asked if I wanted to participate. And I volunteered to edit videos and like add to the scripts and stuff because that's something that, you know, she's not as keen on, but I'm pretty good at, I think. So it was cool to combine like different talents like that with everyone. And we set up you know, meetings during office hours, and we even made a group chat and everything. And we were just constantly reaching out saying, like, you know, do you need help, or can you help me like be a guest star in this podcast? I think Miss Van Dorn is actually a guest star in one of the podcast episodes.
It was my first podcast. I was honored.
Yeah. But it was really cool to just be involved in something that we knew was going to help people who are in the position we were in, you know, as freshmen. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's excellent. I love the innovative and the creativeness that's coming out of this with the different projects and so forth, because I definitely saw them when I was there as an administrator. Very, very cool stuff. Well, thank you, Zoe. Do we have anything else for Zoe, Mrs. Van Dorn?
I don't think so. Just thank you so much, Zoe, for being here, because I think that the best thing that anyone can hear is a student that's in the middle of it or at the end of it right now, because it's fresh in your brain. You just did it. I mean, we've talked this whole year about it, and I really appreciate you coming tonight.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thanks, Zoe. Oh, geez, I cut her off too fast. You know, I didn't get to ask Neve about her project. Do you mind if I bring her on real quick?
Yeah,
okay. And I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. Sorry, Neve. How you doing? You already heard the question. Can you tell us about your CAS project?
Yeah, so my CAS project was quite simple because I put so much effort into my service and my activity that by the time I reached creativity, I was in IB art, so I was a little burned out in terms of my creativity. But Miss Davis, I think, was the one who gave me the inspiration for mine, because she brought in a previous student who walked in there and said, I hear y'all are putting great effort into your CAS projects. I painted a penguin for mine. And I was like, what? You did what? She's like, yeah. I made a penguin for mine because that was as creative as I wanted to get. I looked at a picture of a penguin and I went, I really wish I had that. So I made it. And it shocked me because we had put so much effort into thinking of these really deep, well thought out projects. And just the idea that you could be creative for creativity's sake, while makes sense when you say it out loud, it was something that we'd kind of forgotten about a bit. So for mine, I was like, you know, I'm a little burnt out. I'm doing so much. I was volunteering at the Living Desert, working with animals. I was swimming. I was playing violin. I was doing so many things. Like, I'm going to do something relaxing. I'm going to just crochet as many woolen hats as I can feasibly do in a semester. And so I did, and then I donated them. And I wrote about it. It just started out as a, what can I do that's going to let me continue learning the way I want to, continue doing these other things I like, but that also will be creative for me. And it was seemingly insignificant, but it did actually, I crochet all the time now. It helped me find something that was relaxing, that was something I could do while listening to videos for my classes and stuff, that relaxed me, took away some stress. And all it came from was a penguin picture.
Okay. I love that you also have something that is now a lifelong skill that you can use for the rest of your life with the crocheting and so forth. And you say you do it all the time. What do you do with the things that you crochet now?
So I stepped away from the hats for a bit. I started crocheting scarves and stuff. I just recently made a shawl for my mom because she's gotten into the knitting scene now with COVID. So I was like, I'm gonna compete with her since we're both at home.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I get yarn and I just have at it until I run out of yarn.
Okay, well, good for you. That's awesome. You doing that, and you're also relating with your family too, with doing it too. I do want to say that while you were speaking, I didn't see it until now. You did have a fan for UC Davis yell out "Go Aggies." Want to make sure you saw that. There we go. There we go. Well, thank you for sharing about your project and your stories there, Neve. Well, I'll let you go backstage here because we're going to continue on with Miss Van Dorn. Have a good one.
Thank you, Neve.
Okay, so now what do we have, Mrs. Van Dorn?
So as all we have on the agenda is just any questions and answers for Miss Davis and myself. And I say Miss Davis because she's our, counseling side of things. But really the big thing is our next steps for the families at home, our incoming ninth graders or even current students now, like what are the next steps to getting involved with the program? The guitar player, songwriter. Sorry. Our next steps are to fill out the IB application, which can be found on my webpage. And once you fill that out, and then the counseling team will be sending out information to incoming freshmen, I think tomorrow. And when you schedule your freshman transition meeting, when you sit to meet with your counselor, then that's when you just say, I am interested in the IB program. And the counselors and I work very, very closely together in terms of if they talk to a student first, then they give them the application. If I talk to them first, I say talk to your counselors because they build that 4-year plan for them and with them, and then they're on my list, and we just go from there.
So there was a question that just came in. The person that said "Go Aggies" earlier wanted to know about the feeder programs. Can you tell us about the elementary IB school that's in the district, as well as just talk about the feeder programs if you would mind.
So our elementary school, we have 2 elementary schools in Desert Sands. Our Amelia Earhart, which is right next to La Quinta High School, and Benjamin Franklin are our 2 IB elementaries. And we are starting to work closely with them, trying to align our profiles, our learner profiles of the month, because a lot of families that live together, my son talks about being a risk taker and an inquirer. Our John Glenn is our middle school, that's an IB school. And so a lot of students, they can go Franklin, Amelia, John Glenn, and then up to La Quinta High School for their IB pathway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see we have that. That's the only question I have on my end. I don't know if there's any that came in through the Google form. If you want to check that out. But no, I'm glad that you guys were able to do this and answer the questions to your families. Over the course of the evening, we've had as many as 45 that are watching. Right now, we've got a couple dozen that are watching. Right. But realistically, this is on for them to see in the future too, right?
Yeah.
And they can share this with their family members if they have any questions about the program. I just think it's fantastic. And just so you know, Ms. Van Dorn, that parents said thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. I don't have any. Oh, great question, Ricardo. So will there be reflecting back on our exhibition if we are in IB? So from my understanding, at the end of your primary year program, which is your elementary IB, you do, in 5th grade, you do some sort of a, similar to like the CAS and exhibition. And then I believe at the end of your middle school year in 7th grade, you also do an exhibition.
Okay.
And if you choose to keep going with it, then in your junior and senior year, you can choose some of the things that you studied then to either go deeper in for CAS or extended essay. So the idea, if, some of these IB schools, it's all in one and it's PYP, MYP, DP.
Right. Right.
And I think the idea is then your idea that you start researching in 5th grade, because it's an action project, you then can develop for your 7th grade exhibition and then develop further either through CAS or extended essay. And we have also in our TOK class, one of the finalizing projects is an exhibition. That's
Okay.
call it an exhibition. But yes, there is opportunity, but it's completely up to you, since you don't have to belong to a feeder school to be in the IB program at La Quinta High School.
Right. You can come in from any of the feeder schools and so forth. You can come from Palm Springs Unified or CV Unified and apply for our IB program. I know that. Most definitely. Any other questions on your end?
In the chat, there's the website that the students made, and I think that Ms. Davis and I will be linking it into the IB website for students to take a look at what the students work. And with IB, with CAS, if a group of students does something now, students in the future can pick up what they started and continue working on with it. So some of the projects actually last years because they hand down what they started. So for someone that said that, I think I'll be putting it into the IB website.
Okay. And there was a follow-up question in regards to, are there any advantages in doing so with the elementary and the middle school programs for IB? I think I can answer this. It just puts you in that mindset. And think about it. Our student that started that CV Water District project as a senior, they started that in kindergarten. Geez, they'd be running the water district by now. So,
yes,
it just gets them in that right mindset.
A lot of it is the language, the teaching, the curriculum, because it's more than just, these few core things that we do. It's really just embodying that learner profile, and how, starting in kinder, and I say this just because my students are in the kinder, and so I'm seeing a different side of it for the very first time with my own children going through it, and just the language that they're learning in kindergarten and first about lifelong learning and being an inquirer and being principled and balanced and using that vocabulary at 7 years old and continuing that on all the way to graduation. I think that would be one of the big advantages, is just that wholesome, whole culture, whole student learning.
So one of the problems that I have with my job is I hear about all the great things going on in the Desert Sands. And what really stinks for me is I'm going to have to make a big decision in a couple of years for my own daughter to go to school. And I'll be 100% honest. The whole time Tara and I've been talking, dual language. But then I hear about the IB and the thought process and this. I want to know if we can combine both schools and have a dual language IB school. Is that possible?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Amelia Earhart does have a dual language program, and they are IB.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong, but
okay.
And with IB, since it's an international program, the requirement in your high school years is you have to learn that second language.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big things that they embody, is the intercultural understanding. So.
Right. I gotcha. Well, we've been on here for about 50 minutes. Are there any more questions or comments that you want to address?
I don't have any. Did I miss anything with anybody backstage?
No, I've got everything taken care of on the comments in here and so forth. Well, thank you, Mrs. Van Dorn, for taking the opportunity. You guys did a great job in presenting Can IB Be for Me? And I want to say, if people watch this through and they think about it long and hard, it'll be a great program for anybody who wants to do it. Definitely.
Thank you. And thank you for having us here. I really just appreciate the platform and the time that you took to let us be on your show. So thank you.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Well, I'll go ahead and wrap us up here. So this was our live from La Quinta High School, Can IB Be for Me? I was here with your administrators, the IB coordinator, some past students. But thank you again for presenting. And thank you, CoachellaValley.com, for allowing us to present this on your Facebook platform. I know that by doing so, we're able to get that many more people watching tonight. But make sure to tune in to Classroom Conversations tomorrow morning. I'll be on at 9 o'clock with Chef Mary, talking about the great things going on in Desert Sands. You guys have a great night. Make sure you wear your mask, wash your hands.